Blog Talk Radio.
You're listening to RVD Radio.
Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Exterminator! 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 Man assassinator! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! A damn shot straight to your brain! Straight to your skull crack! You get down to straight to your brain! Straight to your skull crack! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! I will fly high! 5-star broad blast! You can't stop me! 5-star broad blast! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! Drop that down! The whole fucking show! It's all about the yin and the yang, the balance of power and zen. You can't stop the yin and the yang, the balance of power and zen. Drop it down, the whole fucking show. Drop it down, the whole fucking show. I will levitate, flip kick you in the air. I will decimate, you can prepare for. Drop it down, the whole fucking show. 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 Drop it down, the whole fucking show.
Fucking A, Rob Van Dam, whole fucking show. What up, everybody? Happy RVD Radio. Happy first ever July 5th, 2012, motherfuckers. We made it. Fucking A. Hope everyone is doing extremely well this week. We haven't done a radio show in a while. And I probably open every show now saying we haven't done a show in a while, and also expressing that I'm doing this because I keep hearing we need another show. But I appreciate that. Appreciate the motivation wherever it comes from, and I'm glad to be doing a show today, and I think it's going to be a good show. Although it's been suggested that I covered this topic once before on heroes. I'm not sure if I did or not. Maybe. Couldn't prove it with my short-term memory, but that's not saying much. But either way, I think I got much to say, and hopefully others do too. We got some awesome guests that are going to be on, so very stoked about that. Talking about heroes, we got the Olympic hero, Kurt fucking Angle, motherfuckers. And we got Hurricane Shane Helms, who's a big, big fucking fan of comic books. Everyone knows him by that. Not to mention, he's a regular person with a whole other well-rounded life as well. But he stands out in my mind for someone being really inspired by comic book heroes, just like me. So we're going to pick his brain a little bit. Too Cold Scorpio is going to call in. Sabu is going to call any other been on in a while. Of course, Bruce Jingles, a regular comedian in-house. So it's going to be an awesome show. And we want to find out what the fuck does it take to be a hero. Know what I'm saying? And while I've got all of your attention, what do we need to cover in recent news? It's been a little bit since we have chatted, right? Have an outfit for sale at the RVD eBay store. My website, by the way, is jamming now, and it's about to jam a whole lot more this month, right now, because I'm getting ready for Comic-Con, which starts in like 2 weeks. I'm very excited about that, and I'm getting a whole bunch of new areas, subfolders added to RobVanDam.com, so I can keep you abreast of my other ventures. RVD Productions. I have a side venture called Nonconformity. Actually, Nonconformity is a T-shirt that carries the spirit of the side adventure, and we have our first shirt out now. That site will be up this week, actually, or like I said, by the Comic-Con, which starts July 11th. So I'm going to give it till then and not say a whole lot more about that, except for we're debuting our Nonconformity shirts at the Comic-Con. I'm pretty stoked about that. And that will go on to be other areas of venturing the nonconformity spirit, because it's okay to be different. And that's what nonconforming is about, celebrating your individuality. So this is one of my projects, but more related to the Comic-Con is my fucking comic book. Now, last year at the Comic-Con, I announced that my comic book was finally done, but since then I've had the adventure of trying to get it published, and with my crazy schedule and the limited resources, that was not done. I printed the book up anyway. I'm going to have it on hand at the Comic-Con for sale, and also it looks fucking awesome, so I'm really stoked about it. And it probably still will be published. Looks like there's a deal yet to be made by Blue Water Productions, who specializes in celebrity projects. They said they're very excited. They want to publish this book, so it'll be like a different version. So what I have here will be like the director's cut, kind of like the pre-published indie version, whatever. But I'm pretty stoked to hold it in my hand after all these years.
Winning.
And it looks awesome to see the actual printed papers. Better than I could have imagined. And you can get a little sneak peek of this, RVD Radio listeners, because I have a site with some preview shit, and that site is also going to be up and part of the new RVD Productions site, which you'll be able to access off of RobVanDam.com this month. But actually, little secret info, if you guys go to RobVanDam.com/twistedperception, boom! You can get a little preview of my book right now. In fact, I think you might even be able to order it maybe from there. If not today, then, by the time people are listening to the show, because most people don't listen to it live anyway. Know what I'm saying? And that motherfucker is going to be up. So I'm pretty excited to have a bunch of shit come together. Excited about the Comic-Con. And this shit, by the way, the nonconformity, the twisted perception, a bunch of other stuff is going to be directed from the website. So, and I'll have that shit up. And there's a little box at the bottom of RobVanDam.com, the bottom left, recent news. And, it's kind of bottom left. Anyway, that's where we put links. It's a new window, and it's fucking awesome. We put links, like when I do interviews and shit, and people give me their interviews, or if you fans send me links to interviews, dude, maybe I'll have to put something in the forums so you can send that to me. Otherwise, whatever. Find a way to send it to me, and I'll post it in there so people can check it out. And I will put the Twisted Perception thing and nonconformity when they're new. It'll go in there. Right now, it's got event-worn ring outfit up for sale. This is a fucking badass outfit. I'm pretty sure it was on an action figure. If I remember, when I'm done with RVD Radio, I'm going to go down to my green room and check out my action figure wall and see if one of the action figures has the ball and chain black outfit, because that is the outfit that is being auctioned on my eBay site for a charitable cause. Good friend of mine, Mr. Jake Black, also fellow comic enthusiast. He would have been good to have on the show as a guest, but I didn't bother him yet. And you know, as soon as I take the calls, the show gets chaotic, so you only have to put up with RVD's voice alone for just a couple more minutes. He's got some overwhelming cancer bills. He's had a few projects directed towards this, and I thought this would be a good thing, too, to pull that outfit out of my closet and let one of you motherfuckers own it, and also help out Jake Black as well. So, check that out. The eBay store, by the way, is fucking rocking. We got almost 100 items in that motherfucker. If I use motherfucker enough today, keeps coming out. Fucking A. Happy 5th of July, motherfuckers. Check that out. We have a ton of shit. We're always putting new stuff up, and the site, by the way, is always being built more and more. And there's so much going on right now, and I'm super stoked about that. So the outfit, by the way, just like all auctions, it has a limited time. What is it? I can click on it right now, yo. I can be like my own computer guy. It says 3 days left. All right, so check it out. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's been on a action figure. Seems like I remember wearing that when I tag teamed with Kane too. You guys know what's up. You guys tell me when I wore that outfit, or just fucking buy it. All right, cool. So a couple things to plug. I mean, it's been a while since we talked. Last Saturday, I filmed a Funny or Die clip. If you're not familiar with Funny or Die, it's Will Ferrell's website-based episodic adventure. A lot of funny comic clips on there. A lot of A-listers do clips. Me and Kurt Angle and Bruce Tessmacher was part of it as well. We filmed something all day. It's like a spoof on his 2012 Olympic efforts. So it should be really funny. It's going to come out at the end of the month, the week before Olympics start. So that's cool. This Friday, is it this Friday? No, it's this Saturday. I am headlining John Lovett's Club at City Walk out here in LA at Universal City again at 7:30. I don't know. I was going to tell you where you can find that info, but I don't know if I can tweet it. And, dude, maybe I'll put it in that recent news. That might be awesome. Good way to utilize my window, huh? Fucking A. And then Sunday I'm going to be on a podcast called Comedy Bone. So if you go to comedybone.com, I guess you will see some information there. I haven't looked myself, but I have faith that they're more organized than myself. I usually have faith that people are going to be more organized than me. So if you go there, you probably have that shit. So there you go. Boom, boom, boom. What else do we got to talk about? Can we roll into our topic, yo? Because I thought, and yes, Matt Denton, by the way, is standing in for Nikki Starr today. We don't have our normal producer, Blog Talk Radio producer, Nikki Starr. So hey, did I just put myself on hold? You didn't even hear that. Detonator, fucking Mad Dog Detonator, all the way from across the pond stepped in, across time zones and everything to host for us. Appreciate that, Matt. How you doing today?
You know what? I'm doing great, and even better to know that the comic book project is plugging along really nicely. It's kind of surreal to see my artwork up there.
Yeah, and I appreciate your help. A lot of people chipped in for this, and it all came together. I myself have, no artistic talent. There's rumors I hear every once in a while that I paint my own outfits that I wear to the ring. Fuck no. I'm horrible at an artist. You wouldn't understand what anything was supposed to be that I tried to draw. So plus airbrushing is so hard, and on that material. It takes a true expert like Joe Holland. There's very few, if any, others that can do his style. But and I'm going to say there probably are no others. But having said that, I wrote it. Matt, you helped with some of the graphics, as did a lot of other people, and I actually have the book because they gave me some advanced copies. The other ones are coming this week, but it looks fucking awesome. I'm so stoked to actually be able to have it and read it, and it took a long time, and there was a lot of correction after correction, but I think we got
I know it.
It looks awesome. So
you know what? I still have a bunch of the emails that you sent me for revisions to the logos and stuff, and it's just looking back at it, it's You don't really realize how much work goes into graphic design.
Yeah, that's why I could never do it. That's why I always need people. You know, on the website and the forums, I have classified ads, and I have something in there for join our team. I always need people, and I never have enough people. I always have ideas and I want shit done, but I should be able to go boom and have it done. But I don't. You know what I mean? I got my automatic doobie rolling machine that I want, where I can just hit a button and walk away and come back with 10 pre-rolled doobs for the day. I should be able to just have that done, assign that to somebody. But so far, no. I'm also going to need someone to edit pretty soon because I want to do RVD TV episodes, but I've decided I don't have the time or the desire to make the time to edit the episodes anymore. But as the website's jamming and growing, we're going to be drawing a lot more traffic to it this month and then after this month. So I think the TV episodes are going to come back into play, and I'm going to be looking for that too. So fucking A, I'm glad to have you on the team, Mad Dog.
You know what? I'm dabbling with a bit of video editing myself. So if you want somebody to do it, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, well, cool. I will keep that in mind for shizzy. The comic book, by the way, everyone wants to know, what's it about? And basically, because it has to do with with the topic of today's show, my character, he's one of my personalities. He's a peaceful, Zen-loving dude. He can fight, but he's not like on any superhero level. But he studies martial arts, but he's into stretching and meditating and passive arts. But his life changes instantly when he gets this power bestowed upon him that he doesn't want. And after that, when he looks at people, he actually sees evil deeds that they've done, and he has to deal. There's consequences just out of morality. I mean, because he sees some horrible, atrocious shit, and he catches people in vulnerable positions and acts upon it, but he's no longer happy and peaceful because now he's crossed the line into like a violent life. And this is like this lives in my head when I watch America's Most Wanted or the news even, and I see these sick fucks, like these guys that kidnap little kids, rape them, murder them so that they don't get caught. And I think about the grief they cause that family and the horrible loss. And I think about there's somebody to blame for that and how much I just want to pulverize that person. That's the passion. That's the passion and the dedication I put into this story that comes out in the form of a comic book at this point. Maybe it'll be something else later. But to me, that's just having that moral drive kind of is the drive of a hero. Myself, I feel like I have like a heroic nature, whereas when I walk in public, there's so many people that look vulnerable to me that I would rescue, that I would save, and they have no idea. I walk by, could be like little kids, could be like really, really old, frail people, and they have no idea how much I would step in front for them and beat someone up if I saw somebody trying to harm them. And I don't even know them, and I don't have an obligation to them, but it's just the right thing, and it just feels right, and that's just kind of like what makes me tick. From a perspective that could be seen as a hero, but maybe it takes an action. By definition, sometimes a lot of people say it's someone, that sacrifices their own safety for others, in which case every single police officer, every single person that's ever joined the military and given up their comfort or quality of sitting at home just to go out and train for the purpose behind that of our safety, every one of them is a hero too. What do you think, Mad Dog?
You know what? It does take a lot of guts to act on something if you want to be a hero. Not a lot of people have the testicular fortitude, if you will, to do something like that. I mean, how many people would honestly help somebody out in a time of need when they're on the streets? Nobody helps strangers anymore because you don't know what strangers have in their hearts, They might be faking, and that's the kind of duality of whether or not you want to be a hero. You might want to do it, but you can't be sure that the person is good and pure and won't just turn against you once you help them. So it's pretty.
Well, okay. got to tell this. You bring up a story that I have to share real quick. And will you check that 919 number and see if that's Hurricane Shane Helms? Because that's not the number I have for him, but he is going to be calling in. He might call from a different number. And
sure.
I just got to share this real quick. You guys now know who John Laurinaitis is. He's the guy on WWE that's the...
He's the Executive Vice President of Data Relations.
Yeah, okay. So I've known Johnny for like a long time. I used to wrestle him like way back in '93. Him and the Patriot, Del Wilkes, one time in Japan, we were in some small little town out on the road, and at nighttime they were walking around trying to find some food or whatever, and they found a group of Japanese men in a circle beating the shit out of two guys with golf clubs. They were kicking the shit out of them and beating them, and they, with the morality of maybe a hero, thought the right thing to do was to jump in and save them, and so they jumped in and they pushed the other guys away from them. Hey, stop it! Everybody turned on them, including the two guys that were getting the shit beat out of them, and whacked them with the fucking golf clubs, and they ran for their lives. And like we made so much fun of them for the whole tour because we were like on a 3 or 4 week tour, and Johnny had a perfect imprint of a golf club on his thigh, perfect imprint, and Del Wilkes had one on his back. All we could figure was maybe it was some kind of initiation that they fucked up or something, but they did not appreciate the help at that point.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy. All right, so that 911 you said was a shitty connection. Okay, cool. So I haven't. I always tell my hosts or my guests to hold off for a second so I can monologue, yo. But I'm gonna get. I told Kurt that I would call him. Let me see when Hurricane's gonna call in a minute. I'm gonna give Mr. Engel a call. He is an Olympic hero. But that's a good example of like what you're talking about, right? They fucking turned on him. Everybody did.
Yep.
And, yeah. But I mean, there's a line. You know what I mean? There's a line, I guess, something that's natural, something that's right to you. I mean, it's not something we all think about. But Justin McCauley, who is in Vegas right now, he's texting me. So he will not be on today. This motherfucker, he and I were driving up the road. We were going to go to Gold's Gym in Venice Beach one day. And while we were there on the road, we saw all the smoke and everything. We pulled up on the site where you couldn't even see through. Like something big had just happened. We're like, whoa. But you couldn't really tell what was up. There was like a few lights that were like off the road on the side. And this was right on the 405. So it's something that, you know, that's causing some it's going to cause some backup, but we just got there. Like, it must have just happened. And I'm slowing down because I have to because you can't see. And all of a sudden, Justin goes, stop! He tells me to stop, and he jumps out of my car. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm on the interstate, and I pulled over, and he had ran down the ditch where there was a car that was on its side, and there was a couple inside of there, Mexican couple, and he tried to lift the door, but it was too heavy because it was sideways, and it was a long door, like a 2-door car, so he's like kicking the windshield, trying to kick it through. And I looked into the window of the door, and I saw like this Mexican dude looking back up at me. He's just like standing on his wife. He's like on the bottom. It was so funny. It just looked so calm. Just looking at him like, hey, what's up? And anyway, I hawked it, and I grabbed the door and went, Rrr! And I lifted the door open, and I grabbed him and pulled him out. And me and Justin pulled the lady out, and then we took off. It was like, you know, we pulled him out, we looked around, and then we saw like some cars coming up and stopping, and we were just like, okay, let's go, man. We're needed elsewhere. We felt like superheroes. We fucking we jumped in the car and we rode towards the gym, and we had the best workout because we were like, yeah, that was fucking awesome. We felt like fucking heroes. We were stoked. We were just like keeping our eyes open, like super alert, looking out, and like, who else needs our help now? It was awesome. Yo, what up, Hurricane Shane Helms?
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, congratulations on the little tropical storm, yo.
Oh, man, thanks, man. It's awesome. You got to have one, man.
Fucking A, man. I'll enjoy your enjoyment, man. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, hey, man. I was like that my whole life. I never planned on it, never even wanted a kid, and then when that happened, man, it does change you, and it's awesome. I'm telling you, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I don't want. I don't want to change.
I didn't either, but it's hard to describe. But
yeah, no shit, man. Well, yeah, I just recently, like in the last, I don't know, month or so, started using Twitter a lot, and I see you on there a lot, and there's a lot of people excited and congratulating you, and a lot of people are happy and proud for you, and you've gone through quite a roller coaster of shit with life, you know, having the accident, being laid up, and having to go through all the stress and grief and just everything that has to come with that you and your girl went through, and then to be able to be blessed like this and you know, come out and you're both healthy and now you have a baby, a new addition to the family, the world, that's got to really feel like you're definitely on the yang to the yin.
Yeah, it definitely does, man. You know, like I said on Twitter the other day, you can plan for the future all you want, but it's going to happen the way it happens, you know. So you roll with the dice and hope for the best, and, you know, it is a roller coaster, up and downs, but right now, you know, luckily I'm on an up, and so I'm just riding. I'm going to ride that up wave for a while.
Fuck yeah, man. Whenever I always, this is advice that, you know, that I use myself, but I sometimes tell other people when they're looking for motivation and they're going through really bad times, I try and tell them, you know, look at it. You got to look at the long picture. You know, look at the big picture. You're going to go through some negative, through some dark shit in order for the positive shit to stand out, and it's just the way it balances out, and you got to look at it as, all right, because I, you know, a lot of people look at me and they go, man, Rob, you know, you're always so positive. People tell me that, and at TNA, and it is an effort. I mean, it's a conscious effort, you know, just like Buddhists, you try and lift people up when they see you. You want them to leave with an elevated, higher energy than they had before they met you. That's fucking awesome to try to make that like a, you know, like your life goal. But I have people all the time, like at TNA, say, man, after I see you, I always feel good. You know, because I'm always like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, how you doing today? I'm always like, fucking awesome. You know, I'm never like, okay. You know what I mean? But it is, the challenge is to always, you know, to always vibe like that, because sometimes I have some really, really shitty days, and I try and just be thankful that they're not shittier because I'm paying my dues so I can have them awesome days, right?
And that's a really good way of looking at it. Yeah,
thanks, yeah. So, Hurricane, what does it take to be a hero? Because yesterday, being 4th of July, we're all celebrating our independence, and we had a lot of soldiers asking for retweets, and yeah, I stand behind that, and awesome. And I think, you know, that's their choice, unless they're fucking drafted and forced out of their house. You know, they chose that career to go out and be in the military. And I don't want to sound unappreciative, but from a certain perspective, isn't it silly to call all soldiers heroes? Some of them are assholes.
And I think everybody has the potential to be a great person, and they have the equal amount of potential to be a massive asshole. We all have that in us. You know, and I had a U.S. soldier on my highway to Helms show last night, and I kind of did that because of the Independence Day, and you know, so we were talking about the country and stuff like that, and I was like, well, I don't really want to talk too bad about the country on Independence Day, and he's like, no, this is the day you do talk about it because that's what we fought for. So he had a real good outlook on things. But like you said, yeah, I have met military guys, some of them just like any other people, and it might have been that they had a bad day that day and they were assholes. But for the majority, you know, even if they are assholes, I look up to them for what they do. I'm not a fan of war, but I'm a fan of the warriors that have to go through it, and so
right,
it is
yeah,
what it is.
And,
that is a career I didn't want. So that's for damn sure.
Right. Yeah, and me as well. And definitely I respect them, and I'm glad that they do want to do that, because I don't want to do that. But I'm just not sure that you automatically can make a choice to be a hero. It's not, you know, I mean, it's not, I don't know. It's like, does it take like an act? Because and it's all in perspective, I think, too, because I do think, like, anybody has a right to make somebody a hero. Like, any kid can look up to their dad, and their dad can be their hero just because, you know, he keeps the house down, you know, he handles raising the family and getting the groceries, you know, and could something happen to whatever, who knows, you know, but for whatever reason, you know, anybody can have the right to say that anybody else qualifies as their hero. But I think, you know, for I kind of think it's forced on us to assume and accept that certain people are heroes. The Chilean miners, those guys fucked up. They got themselves trapped in a fucking hole, and good for them that they survived it, but they got pulled out. They got saved. I mean, they're heroes? Why the fuck are they heroes? I don't remember ever, like, pulling Superman out of the fucking bottom of the pool. Like, no one went in there and, like, took the what makes Superman weak? What's that shit called? Kryptonite.
Kryptonite.
No one ever took the kryptonite chain off of Superman, like helped him up from the bottom of the pool and gave him mouth to mouth, and then said, "You're a hero, Superman."
That's a good way of looking at it. I'm not going to disagree with that for that particular example. You know, I mean, going back to the soldiers, you know, of course there've been a ton of, especially with all the WikiLeaks stuff that's still hot. I mean, a lot of soldiers have done a lot of bad things, but that's war for you. Not everybody in war is going to be doing the right thing. War in and of itself is a very, very bad thing. So they have the potential to, you know, to do something good, and in the big picture, it might be that they do something good. But anytime you're in war, there's bad shit going on. You know, whatever the cause or the reason when people are getting killed, that's bad. You know.
Yeah.
And so
with the on that. That's why, you know, I don't want someone telling me it's okay to shoot this person but not this person because you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, so it's not, I don't want to be I've been shot and I've been shot at, and that's not a scary. I mean, that's not something that you want to repeat in your life, and it's a scary situation. So the guys that go over there, and you know, I mean, I don't know if you ever did do you guys hear that phone ringing, or is that just on me?
Yeah, that's actually me. I was actually calling Kurt Angle. I know when I went to the Middle East and Africa to visit soldiers over there, you know, them living in those conditions and stuff like that, and still like just not snapping. You know, that might be heroic, and that might be what the people that were talking about the Chilean miners, what they're saying, just the fact that they didn't lose their fucking mind or something like that might be heroic. Because I don't know how they do it. You know, that's But then again, I got a friend who's a firefighter, and I think that's incredibly heroic. And you know, he's a big fan of wrestling, and he's all the time telling me he don't understand how we do what we do, and how it's just crazy, and how brave we are. And I'm like, dude, you run in fucking burning buildings. There's like, unless it's my kid or it's somebody seriously close to me, I'm not running into a fucking burning building for anything. You know, and these guys, they do it for total strangers, so that's like the utmost, you know, heroic. And they don't get paid shit. You know, you know, those guys, and that's the easy ones to point out, you know, and there are cops that do heroic things, and like you said, there are cops that are completely, you know, massive assholes too. So it depends. I don't think the job necessitates if you're a hero, because any job could be perverted and, you know, manipulated into something bad. It's the individual. We all have potential to be great, and we all have potential to be massive fuck-ups. Yeah, okay. Well, let me go to my friend Dango here, who's called in to talk with us, and he happens to be a firefighter. I'm sure he appreciates what you just said. Did you hear Shane Helms calling you a hero, Dango?
Well, I do appreciate it. Thank you. I didn't hear that, but I'll take your word for it. I didn't hear all of it, no.
Yeah, well, he's just talking about, you know, the job. You know, there's certain jobs come with a heroic stigma to them, even though some of the guys that have those jobs, they could be jerks, they could be cool guys, whatever, but he was saying that he would never, like, run into a burning building just to save somebody else, and that could be viewed as a hero.
Yeah, I mean, yes, no, I agree that some jobs are certainly just have that attached to them more than others. And again, I don't know that it is really, I don't know how to explain it. I don't feel any more heroic than anybody else, I guess.
Well, you know, it's funny you mention that, because it seems like in order for us to accept people as heroes, they almost have to be humble. Like whenever someone's on the news and they say, well, I don't see myself as a hero. I just did the right thing. It was like, oh, my God, he's a hero. But if someone ever took credit, and they said, fuck yeah, I'm a hero, man. Fucking save that motherfucker.
You saw that, motherfucker? Give me some change.
I hate that word. I hate the word humble. I was talking about that on Twitter yesterday. I hate people when they, it's really humbling. Like, if I see somebody's life, I would be dancing on the fucking car. But like, see what I did?
I guess it's just awesome. I think I know a lot of people that would probably, I think being a hero is just acting in a situation when most people would choose to not act, is more than anything. And being in the job that I'm in, I just have the opportunity to do it more often than most people do. People, teachers or whatever.
Yeah, but you went into that job knowing that. So, like, almost by definition, from the get-go, you got to, because, like, if that on my list of shit to do, fighting fire is way at the fucking bottom. That shit won't even close to the top.
Well, I think it takes a certain amount of reckless mentality, I suppose. I don't know. But, yeah, it just sounded fun.
What do you,
as far as a career job to do.
So, Dango, hey, Dango, you and myself and Shane were all very heavily influenced by comic books as kids. We obviously had the structure of our, who we look up to, laid out for us with rules. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like to say your prayers, eat your vitamins, whatever.
Right.
Hogan's success was. I mean, that was part of what we all grew up on too, and it's kind of handed to us like, this is what a hero is. I mean, that was kind of like, I liked Ghost Rider, and he was a dark hero, which I started with.
I was the same way.
He didn't mind punishing people. He'd kill someone. He didn't care. So for me, I don't think it was so much about the virtuous presence of the hero. I think it was more about punishing the bad guys and meeting them with equal or greater force.
Like I said, Wolverine was my favorite character, and he'd just as soon eviscerate somebody than, you wouldn't see him taking them to jail.
Right. All right, well, hold that thought, because I have a true hero on the line here for the first time on RVD Radio. What up, Kurt Angle?
RVD, what's up, man?
Yo! Hey, thanks for calling in, Kurt. You're on with Dango, who you don't know, and Hurricane Shane Helms, who you do know, is on the line as well.
Cool.
Yeah, the other guy is a friend of mine. He's a firefighter named Dango, Kurt.
And my son did enjoy watching the filming the other day.
Oh, yeah, his son, my godson, watched us filming that Funny or Die clip. He was with me the other day.
Yeah, Rob and I had so much fun on that thing. It was not even work. It was a blast. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be fun to watch, too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can't wait till it comes out.
So, Kurt, how was your 4th?
I'm sorry?
How was your 4th of July?
I spent it with family, the way you should do it. It was good. I mean, us, we rarely have time with our families, so it was a really good, special time, yeah.
Cool, right on, man. All right, well, we got a topic that we're talking about on RVD Radio today. We're talking about heroes and the qualifications of, what makes a hero, and just giving our different perspectives. I brought up a point. I think anybody has the right to qualify someone else as a hero. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that look up to me and they'll say, "You're my hero." I don't have a choice. I can say, "No, I'm not," but that doesn't mean anything. Right. Yes, I am. If they say I'm their hero, I don't know if that obligates me to act a certain way because I'm their hero or not. But we're also talking about how certain jobs that you go for, like firefighting or like military, those jobs have heroic stigmas, and the descriptions of that job is to be viewed as a hero. But I wonder, does it take more than just holding that job? Like, in other words, you were in the Olympics. Was every wrestler that competed in the Olympics a hero, or was Kurt Angle an Olympic hero because he captured the gold and beat everybody?
Man, that's such a broad question. I think anytime you represent your country and, from an athletic standpoint to a military standpoint, it qualifies you to be some form of hero. Like you said, Rob, you could be anybody or anything, and people will walk up to you and say, you know, you were my childhood hero, or you're my hero. You know, it is broad. You know, you were talking about before I got on about Ghost Rider. I guess you considered him one of your favorite superheroes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Who did he ever beat?
He didn't beat me.
He beat the Incredible Hulk, man. Come on.
No, but what I'm saying is, you know, I know what you're saying. I mean, a job is a job. I mean, whether it's military or a firefighter or a police officer, that's his job. That's what he gets paid for. Does it qualify him as a hero? I think yes, and in some forms, it's just his job. It's just like us as wrestlers. We love what we do, and we do our jobs, and Rock, you and I do it well, and that's what we get paid to do. So are we heroes? I guess it depends on, you know, what the fan's perspective is and what you think of yourself. I don't consider myself a hero. I never really did, but, you know, winning the Olympic gold medal kind of somewhat in a society way qualified me to be a hero.
On a much more local level.
Way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, just like we were talking about in a society way, Kurt, you were doing what you were driven to do on your own metal and just doing what felt natural to you, and that qualified you as a hero because you have to excel at it. But
right.
And other people, like a person that's just going to work day to day, doing his job, taking care of his family, isn't necessarily considered a hero. Let's just say garbage collectors, for instance. But we take, and I'm a firefighter, I'm considered a little bit of a hero because I'm a firefighter, but a garbage collector isn't. But if you take his position out of society, the whole society collapsed to some degree. Garbage starts piling up, there's chaos and stuff, just as
that
if it would if I quit.
That makes perfect sense. You're right. I think you have
and it's not fair to some people.
You have an argument. But I will tell you this, and I will be straight up and honest. When I went for the gold, I didn't go for the gold for anybody but me.
Right,
so,
absolutely. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You were doing what you were driven to do for your own accomplishments to some degree.
Yeah, and at the time that was what I did for a living. That was my job. It was my career. Right. And so that's such a broad question. It's really hard to really state what is and what isn't.
So let's compare like an Olympic gold medal hero to a football jock. Now, I didn't join football. I really wasn't athletic when I was in school. I was more of a nerd, and I kind of think I taught myself to be athletic just because I wanted to wrestle. And I like showing off. I like the response I got, you know. But when you join football and you're just a football jock, I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, to a local level, you're a hero, or you have to be good. I guess if you suck at football and you're just on the team, you're not a hero. But if you're the star quarterback winning games, everyone in town wants to put you on their shoulders.
Right. Here's another aspect. I was on a state championship team in high school in football, but I was a sophomore in high school and I didn't start. When I got back to my school, I was considered a hero. I was on special teams. I was a backup linebacker. So I was considered one of the state champion football players that, you know, represented my high school, and they considered me a hero when I really only played about 4 plays in the game.
Dude, I know exactly what you mean with that. I said I know exactly what you mean. Right after 9/11, you know, people were coming up hugging us in the street, you know, for being firefighters, and, you know, we didn't do any of that up in New York or D.C.
Well, you know what? I think everybody took you guys for granted, and after they saw the danger that was involved and how you guys put your lives on the line, you know, that right there just put the stamp of approval of what a firefighter is and what certain police officers are. You know, I mean, I would never want to be a cop because, you know, you're gonna come. I couldn't anyway, but my criminal record. But you couldn't. I mean. You're just putting yourself in danger. You're going to come into a situation where you're going to have to draw a gun or be drawn on or both, and I would not want to put myself in that situation. So to some degree, I look at police officers as heroes.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you say in some way, Kurt, but it's funny because for me, like, that's the obvious. Like, for me, police officers are the closest thing that we have to real-life superheroes. And no matter how much people want to hate on them, and in some societies, you know, parts of the city or whatever, like the cops are the enemy or whatever. But who do you call when you're in trouble? You don't call. You don't put up the bat signal up in the sky like in the cartoons. You fucking dial 911 and you want the police to come there to help you and put their lives on risk. Yeah, we have a police officer who's usually on the show with us, but he worked night shift last night. I'm texting him trying to get him to call in, but we call him Officer X because he does this anonymously. But this guy, holy shit, he calls me like on any given day and he'll tell me what he's done that night, and I can't fucking believe it. He'll be like, he goes, earlier we had to go in, he goes, these poor motherfuckers got their house invaded, they were tied up and beat up, you know, and we tracked the guy down a couple miles, you know, a few hours later, and had a shootout. One of my buddies got killed. And that's like his night at work. I can't believe it.
Right.
Hey, insane. I always tell him, dude, you get another job.
You're right, Rob, and you know what? Cops have a reputation of being assholes. But if you're a police officer and let's just say there are a group of guys, you know, kind of in a circle and they're pushing and shoving going on or they're dealing or whatever, and a police officer comes up and he's very stern, you know, he doesn't know if anybody has a weapon there. So, I mean, like, I can see if you know, a police officer, you know, pulled you over and, you know, saw you didn't have a weapon, he was being an asshole to you. He's just a police officer being an asshole. But when there are a lot of situations where people say police officers are assholes, but he's used to being not laid back, but being ready all the time.
Right.
And he can't be nice until he has that, until you give him the opportunity to be nice. You have to submit to him in order for him to let down his guard. So if I were a police officer, I'd be the biggest prick in the world because I wouldn't want to get killed.
Right.
I wouldn't want to get killed.
You don't get that perspective until you get older and appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I never realized it until I was much older, you know, why they act so, like you said, so much like a dick. And it's
I mean,
it's like being on the battlefield when you're punched in every night.
Right.
I mean, as far as like you got to look around you every which way. When you pull someone over and you want it to be routine and you just want to say, hey, be more careful. You know, you ran a red light, but instead, you know, you got you can't see through the windows. There's 4 people in the car. You know, this crazy job.
I got pulled over in Detroit one time and with my mom in the car after a wrestling show, and this guy came up to the back window, gun on his hand. Hey, let me see your hands. And I'm like, God, what a fucking asshole. And it wasn't until, you know, 10, 15 years later I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, now you get
who I was. You know, a friend of mine got killed up here not that long ago.
Right.
And it's like, you know, well, no wonder they act like that.
Yeah. It probably won't surprise any listeners to know that someone like Rob Campia, who's a friend of mine and who started the Marijuana Policy Project, he is a hero to me because he started this program in 1995 when marijuana was illegal, and he's gotten it, not just him, but he's been a huge part of it, you know, MPP along with NORML, along with all these other, there's a few organizations, Safer Access, but he's a huge part because he's in Washington, D.C. He takes donations and he hires lobbyists, and he's the one, he puts ads together to counter the campaigns that, you know, that try to put it down. And he's done so much work. We now have 17 states that are legal with medicinal programs, plus Washington, D.C. When we get to 26, if the feds haven't made a change in their non-medicinal #1 most dangerous drug position yet, they're going to have to at that point. And Denver this year is going to legalize cannabis completely for recreational use for adults like alcohol. Rob Campia, who has put his life on the line to put all this together and started and founding this company that now has like thousands of members and dollars to it and seriously makes changes for the better of mankind, in my opinion, he's a hero to me. So,
well, Rob, you know that the cannabis thing isn't my thing, but I look at it from I'm into politics, I'm into economics, I'm into everything that's going on from the stock market all the way to healthcare. And I could tell you if we legalize marijuana, which is not my thing, but if we legalize it, the country would not be in debt. There would be so much that we could do with that. And, you know, I don't think it's a dangerous drug. I think that it should be legalized in every state, and I believe that if it was, I think that we could make a lot of money from it, and we wouldn't be in such turmoil, the position that we are in right now.
Right, and there's studies to back that up with specific economic numbers, but marijuana being the number one cash crop in the country, it's not going to go anywhere. Let me get this caller, Brian, because he's been on hold forever, and let him in on the conversation. What up, Brian? Welcome to RVD Radio. You got Hurricane Shane Helms. You got, Officer X is on, too. All right. Let me go. I'll go to you in a second, Officer X. Let me get Brian's comment, question, or consideration. What up, Brian? You got Kurt Angle, by the way, Hurricane Helms. Officer X is going to be on, and Dango. Holy shit.
let me tell you all this. You guys are like my favorite wrestlers. I've followed you guys since like I was a little kid, and growing up watching wrestling and everything has been a pleasure to watch you guys.
Thank you.
At all. RVD, you are the man. Kurt Angle, I praise you for winning the Olympic gold medal and for being oh my God, this is like so freaking nerve-wracking for me, man. It's so awesome to be talking to you guys. Even Hurricane Helms.
Okay, Hurricane Helms is a fucking superhero in real life.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
thanks,
man, we
man.
appreciate your call. We only got like 9 minutes or so, so I want to let
What is that?
Yeah, that's Officer X theme music. Officer X, motherfucker.
What's up, my man? How are you?
Hey, thanks for calling in, man. We were just talking about, did you hear who's on the line? We got fucking Hurricane Helms, my buddy Dango, and Matt Denton's taking Nikki's place today, and Kurt Angle's on the line, the Olympic hero. How you like that shit?
Good. Nice to talk to you guys again. How's it going?
Good, man. We were talking about police officers and what a crazy job you have, and we're talking about heroes and what it takes to make a hero. I was saying, to me, the number one choice in real life, in real society, for who a hero is, to me, is obviously a cop, because you're like real-life superheroes. You're the guys that we call when we're in trouble. You're the ones that try and keep society safe. And there are some cops that are assholes. There's some cops that are dirty, and you're right in the middle of it, and you see all of it. But the number one quality of a hero is he has to not consider himself a hero. What do you think about that? Are you a hero?
No, fuck no. It's no different than working in a factory. It's,
but you can't really think that, man. You got to see how you're helping people's lives, like face to face, when they're in jams.
You're trying. I mean, it's tough. A guy, like I told you, a guy I worked with got murdered 3 weeks ago, and I saw him laying in the gurney with, bullets in his face, and it sucks. A 58-year-old man who went to work one day, kissed his wife goodbye, and didn't come home because some fucking asshole had to shoot him for no reason, And he saved a woman. The Reader's Digest version is the man had shot a woman holding a 1-year-old kid, and then he shot the police officer in the left arm, and he was a lefty, so he couldn't get to his gun, and the cop was tough enough. He fought him to the end. The guy put 2 in his face and he didn't have to. He fought with one arm shot, and then the guy killed himself. But this other guy shot and killed a woman shot a woman in the head with a baby in her arms. Fucking crazy out there.
Hey, Kurt and Shane, this is him talking about work. Like we're talking about. I did a 450 off the top rope last week. Hadn't done that in a while.
Yeah,
this is his high spot. These are his high spots with his fucking day at work.
You guys,
believe it?
But fuck that. You guys do it too, because I remember being at a show one time, Kurt. I was doing the police thing, and Kurt was out talking to these kids, and it lit them up. And I never. And how many times have we been places with little kids? That's RVD. That's RVD. And they go crazy. I'll tell you what.
The wrestlers, you guys don't realize how much you change. You don't get to see that you changed their lives, or the opportunity that you may or may not.
I'm telling you, it's fucking. Last year I was doing a police academy. I brought back one, and he put the guys through a workout, and he just taught them one technique, a simple duck on a go behind it. You don't teach people stuff, and that might save some guy's life, Kurt, I remember talking to you years ago to show about conditioning and moves and ducking, and you were cool and shit with stuff. You do stuff every day. I think the other day I took my son to a store in Boston to buy him a hockey helmet, and we went in there. There was a guy from the Bruins in there, and he took time and bullshitted with him, and the guy's a fighter, Sean Thornton, and my little guy says, "Hey, you're the guy who wins all the fights." He says, "Hey, don't get in fights, score goals. You'll make better money, He couldn't. You guys like people. How many hospitals you go see? Sick kids, meet and greets. You do what you do, and if you're not a dick, you get good karma back your way.
Well, let me run a couple of things by you guys that's been in the headlines lately. You can tell me if these people are heroes or not, okay? First off, there's a dad in Texas, Shiner, Texas, and according to his story, he hears his daughter crying for help. He's on a farm, and he catches a guy, I don't know how old the guy was, trying to rape his daughter, and so he saves his daughter by repeatedly hitting the guy in the head, and he kills him. He says he didn't mean to kill the guy, but he was defending his daughter, and they were talking about saying self-defense can be extended legally to a third person if it's someone in your family you're protecting, and so that's something going through the courts right now. If his story holds water, and that's really what happened, I think the guy's a hero. What do you guys think?
Yeah, all day long.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, fuck that.
This is the one where the guy even tried to call 911 to get paramedics out there too, right? He's like, "Oh, this guy's gonna die on me if you guys don't hurry up."
Well, I didn't hear that part, but here's another one.
I'm thinking of.
Here's another one that's the circumstances are a little bit different. Now, these parents lost their daughter to the underworld, and they found out that this pimp was advertising her in escort ads and shit. And they reached out. They were trying to get their daughter back. No, they called the police. No help from the police, according to them. And they even put out like missing person ads, trying to get someone to take their daughter and call the police and force her to come back to them. They ended up tracking the pimp down and killing him. They pulled up beside him in a car and shot him while he was in his car, and they even tried it once before unsuccessfully, and then the second time, boom, they did it and they killed him. Obviously premeditated. We can sympathize with them, but heroes?
They got a problem.
Yeah, that's a big gray area on that.
How old's the daughter?
17.
Ooh, still a minor.
Yes.
No.
I think people realize, hey, if that was my daughter, I'd want to do the same thing, but I don't know about heroes, right?
No, but I mean, I think any parent would want to put a hole in that guy.
Justified, maybe.
You got to have self-control, though. You got to have self-control. That I don't know. That won't qualify as a hero, but I look at it as, I'd love to. I would want to kill the guy, but what you need to do is just save your daughter and get that guy out of her life any way you can without doing anything, criminal. I mean, that's a tough situation.
I got one more situation to run by you. Two brothers, they're molested by a priest when they're young. They come back when they're older, apparently 4 years later, which isn't that much later, and they kill the priest.
Fuck them.
Wow.
Right, fuck the priest, and they're probably heroes. They could be prospectively heroes if this was a bad guy that was molesting dozens of other boys.
They're gonna get screwed though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, usually the only way you pull that move off is if you had no, like the guy walking in on it, he had no, if he stopped fighting with the guy might have killed him, But if you're not supposed to just vigilante people,
Well, that's what I was going to ask, was what do you think about vigilantes in general? I mean, that's the theme for my comic book that I was plugging, that I'm going to have at the Comic-Con, which I'm stoked about. And basically, I mean, it's like people's own right to just do what is right. I mean, there's a line you cross, but to an extent, I mean, you'd have to not as a police officer, you would have to expect citizens to not just do nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't. It's tough though. You can't you'd have complete lawlessness like Afghanistan if people keep doing shit like that,
Yeah.
That's why you got rules and everything, The rules are meant for a reason. Sometimes they suck, but they're the rules.
And right. Okay. So if you look at the like Sandusky and all that thing, like if somebody would have killed his ass a long time ago, you would have saved a lot of kids from getting molested and raped. So by that perspective, it might have been a heroic thing to do, but at the same time, premeditated murder, I don't know. I mean, it'll take an extreme situation to make premeditated murder heroic. But, people like that, like rapists and child molesters and stuff like that, I got like no sympathy whatsoever. So, you know, if they get killed or fucked up or whatever, I don't care about them at all.
I agree, Ron. I think there's a fine line between, you know, being a hero in that situation and revenge. And I think that's where those kids would get in trouble is, you know, they got revenge on that priest. And I don't think that wouldn't tell them.
Especially if they never even gave the system a chance to work. You know, if they, you know, maybe they did, I don't know. But if they never reported, never followed through, never... You know,
when I had my comic book store, when I opened my comic book store, it was in a mall years ago. And one time, it was like the mall was just closing, you know, so that it was mostly empty. And I was in my store, and you could hear this excitement outside in the mall. Couldn't tell what it was. You could just hear like a bunch of people running, some kind of action. And I looked out, and this guy comes running by my store, and then a few minutes later, then everyone else was like running behind him going, stop him. So I stuck my head out there to see what's going on. They go, stop him, he stole a purse. So I took off running, and being, you know, the awesome athlete that I am, we had a long hallway, and so like I ran and I passed everybody, and the guy, he ran across the parking lot into this Mexican restaurant, and I ended up being the guy on his tail, and I chased him into the men's room at this Mexican restaurant, and when I caught him, I grabbed the purse, and I handed the purse off, which was a huge hero mistake, because I thought that everyone was going to be a hero and give that back to the lady, but the purse ended up missing. And so now it's just me and this guy, and then like a few other people came in. One guy comes in, and he measures his fist right to the guy's chin and draws back just like on TV or something. Goes, pow, and like punched the guy and knocked him out. And like I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to get in trouble or not, but the guy was an asshole. He stole a purse. I don't know. I'm fine with what that guy did.
Well, it's actually pretty funny, but
yeah. Yeah. Well, I wish I wouldn't have handed the purse off. That's what I learned, and Heroes 101 for me. Next time, keep stolen property, hand it off myself. I got to see it all the way through. But I kind of wanted to punch that guy, but I didn't because, you know, then there'd be a lawsuit. I'd break his jaw, whatever. But, you know. But anyway, yeah. So I think it's been a good show. Yeah, I think it's been a good show. We went a little bit over, which it picks it up on a recording, just not the live version. So whatever. Kurt, do you got anything you want to plug? Website or Twitter?
Or you know what? Just my Angle Foods, KurtAngleFoods.com, and my supplement company, BarnDadNutrition.com. Started them both a couple years ago, and they're starting to really take off. But I do want to plug the Funnier Diet coming out at the end of July. It's with me and RVD, and I hope everybody checks it out.
Yeah, for sure. I'll plug the hell out of it when I get release information because I think that's going to be enjoyed by many. Hey, how do we find Angle Foods?
I'm sorry?
How do we get information on Angle Foods?
Is KurtAngleFoods.com.
Okay, cool. How's that going for you?
Yeah, it's good. It's a healthy line of food. It's doing pretty well. My supplement company, BarnDadNutrition.com, is actually doing really well. We're in every GNC vitamin shop. Now we're in Walgreens. We're doing really well. So both of those they're both beneficial. We have a lot of gluten-free products, and that's what we're pushing right now.
Right on, dude. Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on all the success.
Thanks for the plug, RVD. I love you, bro.
Yeah, I love you too. Thanks for calling in. I'll see you next Thursday at Impact.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right, boom. Hurricane, you got something you want to plug?
Man, everybody that you can just go to @ChainHelms.com on Twitter. I plug my shit on there constantly. I just released another iPhone app yesterday geared to NASCAR fans. And that's mainly what I do with my time now, you know, making iPhone apps.
Yeah, hey, you made a recent return.
Trying not to get in trouble.
Okay, yeah, because you made a recent return to wrestling, and then how'd that go? How's your body hold up?
The body's doing good. The foot, I still got a long way to go with my foot. You know, as you know, I almost completely cut it off. So 4 plates, and they took 1 screw out, so I got 22 screws left in my bionic left foot here. So that's an everyday thing. I'll be in pain with that for the rest of my life. But the wrestling is going to come back, I think, and I had to turn down some bookings, of course, when my son was born. He decided to pop out early. He followed his time cues about as well as I did in the business. And so, but he was awesome. He wasn't even supposed to be born until August the 12th, and he came home on July the 2nd. So he's an amazing little creature, and I'm just happy as a little clan, man. I will see you at Comic-Con, as a matter of fact. I'll be out there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday myself. So.
Oh, cool, man. Looking forward to it. We've had fun together there before. And by the way, I came out a whole month early myself. Just supposed to come out July 19th. I came out December 8th. No, January. I was supposed to come out January 17th. I came out December 18th. So just so you know, you might have a little special one of a kind there. One of a kind.
Yeah, they say he's a little genetic freak, and I say, hey, no, that's gimmicks taken. But yeah, he was never on oxygen or anything. He was 10 weeks early and was never on oxygen or anything. He was actually just going to be big because he was 17 inches long already at 10 weeks early. So he's gonna, it's amazing. I love it to death. Didn't think I'd ever be one of those parents that talked about his kid all day long, but that's pretty much what I do now.
Yeah, I'm sure that changes your priorities.
Without a doubt. But if anybody out there, you got an iPhone, look up. It's Little I MMA Fight Fan. Look up Little I MMA Wrestling Fan, or look up Little I MMA Race Fan. They're free iPhone apps, and everybody loves them, so they're doing great.
I'm on the radio show. I'm getting them.
Awesome. All right, cool, yo. Cool. Good talking to you, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, see you next week.
All right, cool. See. And Dango, you being a parent yourself, yo, man, it was cool having Cold out here. He was a very fine guest. I hope you enjoyed seeing Los Angeles.
Yeah, he had an amazing time. Thank you so much for having him out there.
All right, cool.
I was a month early
myself, too, so before I got to him, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Officer X just hung up, so we don't have to say goodbye to him, but I do want to thank Mad Dog Detonator for stepping in, taking Blog Talk Radio and Nikki Star's spot, and making this all possible.
Anytime, man, anytime.
Cool. All right, cool, yo. Another RVD Radio, so we're going to do them a little more often now. I've already got a couple topics for my next few shows. I want to do a fitness show pretty soon, but I got to have DDP on it because he's jamming with his YRG, and I've had some other people hit me up telling me how they've added health and fitness to their life, and they're losing a lot of weight. One guy in particular, a comedian, Eddie Barojas, that I know, he was huge, and he's all into it now, and he inspired me to do a show maybe next week or the week after, something like that. I'll let you know. I always do, but it'll be right here at RVD Radio. Everyone have a good week or 2 weeks or some odd number of days until then. Cheers! Yeah. All right, look at that. All right, go to RVD.com, motherfuckers. Hey, I should play some outro music now. That'd be sweet.